The Road Less Traveled by Peck is a book I received as a birthday present 13 years ago. Sadly, I did not read it until now. I think it had a lot to do with the opening 3 words of the very first chapter. It starts with the rather depressing words, "Life is difficult." Clearly discouraged, I never read past the first page, even though the book was described as excellent stuff in the birthday note. The fact that the book was a bestseller was not enough to persuade me either. The Road Less Traveled boldly and successfully explores and defines some of the most intangible concepts known to humans. Firstly, the relationship between love on one hand and discipline on the other hand. This is not only human-to-human love, but includes love of hobbies, pets, sports, and so on. A large section of the book deals with the nature of love and discipline, how to make sense of it all. It gives a better roadmap than anything I've read before on this topic. Secondly, the interface between the conscious and subconscious mind, and the wisdom of our subconscious mind. And lastly, but not least, the importance of our spiritual growth. For spiritual growth, there are 3 undoubted themes. That is 1, our view on religion and science. 2, how we're nurtured by our parents in childhood. And 3, our desire or laziness. Yes, laziness, improving ourselves and relationships around us. The author was a therapist who used his understanding of religion, love, and self-discipline to treat his mentally ill patients. I felt like I was a fly on the wall as he outlined some of his therapy sessions throughout the book. It was absorbing, interesting, and each lesson came across with impact. Here's some of the problems he had to deal with in his therapy sessions. He obviously did not use his patients' real names. There was a promiscuous woman who was said to have dozens of lovers. She could not choose and dedicate herself to one partner. A schizophrenic patient who attempted suicide several times and ultimately ended up in hospital. A businessman who was constantly trying to chase more and more money, who got depressed after a heart attack. A financial analyst procrastinating at work. But the most chilling therapy session he shares with us was one of a young woman who one day, seemingly out of the blue, sat in the corner of the room in her house and started chanting. When Mr. Peck approached her to assist, frightened, she started crying. But she continued, chanting, 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 without breaking a rhythm and saying she was going to die. It felt worse than watching a horror movie, or at least you could say it's not real or it never happened. So what are some of the underlying issues that the patients had? General bad parenting of children comes through very strongly. Mothers overly dominating the children is another cause. Misunderstanding or poor approach to religious beliefs or the meaning of the universe. Maybe a little surprising, another cause is the failure to be independent or just be yourself. For my favorite quote, let's go through the opening paragraph of the first chapter. Life is difficult. This is a great truth, one of the greatest truths. It's a great truth because once we truly see this truth, we transcend it. Once we truly know that life is difficult, once we truly understand and accept it, then life is no longer difficult. Because once it's accepted, the fact that life is difficult no longer matters. I don't know why at first read, I thought this was an attack on my optimism. An attack on having fun. It certainly isn't. The lesson was sometimes we try and deny our life's challenges and difficulties. The reason why, believe it or not, it's all subtly intertwined with self-discipline. I was especially intrigued on 2 discussions. Firstly, there's a wisdom in our subconscious mind that we should listen to much more often. Secondly, the author implies we can all put much more effort into our personal growth and our relationships. Hopefully my knowledge translates to better application.